Good morning. Let's sing together. This is going to be a call and response where I'm going to say something and you can repeat it right after me. So if I was to say or sing, you and I are so connected, you would sing, you and I are so connected. Beautiful. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Here we go. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Through it we can feel. Through it we can feel. Love, love, love. Come on. Love, love, love. And through it we unite as one. Through it we unite as one. All right, we got that out of the way. So you and I are so connected. Here we go. You and I are so connected. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Through it we can feel love. Through we can feel love, love. We unite as one. Through it we unite as one. You and I are so connected. You and I are so connected. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Through it we can feel. Through we can feel love, love, love. Love, love, love. We unite. Through it we unite as one, as one. All right, 23 more times. Come on now. You and I are so connected. Heart to heart. Heart to heart, a golden thread. And through it we can feel. And through it we can feel love, 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 love. We unite. Through it we unite as one. Last time. You and I are so connected. Heart to heart. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Through it we can feel. Through it we can feel love, love, love. And through it we unite as one. Through it we can feel love, 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 love. And we unite. Through it we unite as one.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Ken, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the church, the service, to welcome Michael and his family back again. It's been years since I've seen them, and I'm so grateful that they're back. Michael was an integral part of our program. He was the youth program as I felt it, and so his lovely wife. So we thank you for being back and bringing your whole crew with you. Good Lord, that's wonderful. Got to come every week now. We got your names. Get their address. Let's take a moment and say a prayer. I invite you to remember that God is everywhere present. No absence of God anytime, anywhere. So breathe and relax and allow that presence to enter into your heart. Remembering that we are one with the infinite, every cell, every organ, every system of our being. No absence of God anywhere at any time. So there cannot be an absence of love, for God is love. So love fills my being, and I am a radiant center of pure healing love. It reaches out within my body and mind and my heart, healing and restoring. And I even glow even more as I send this light out to all those in this room. And then together, we send it out heart to heart to all the universe, to the cosmos. Love reaches out and brings us together as we are in reality, now in form. And all seeming obstacles are removed before we ever reach them. Divine love and divine power now shine forth to all the world, bringing divine order, perfect right action. And love restores. Love heals our earth. Love heals us and our church, our country, our world. We thank you, Spirit, for this awareness. We are awakening. We are one. So it is. Amen. I want to share one thing, and that's just that as a meditator, I know many of you are very prayerful, and you're here, so I know you must meditate also and stop and reflect upon the presence of God and your oneness with God. Well, when I first started meditating, I was seeking all the time, trying to find out how best to do that, and there's lots of techniques. So one of the teachers said to me, there's a simple technique to be able to get into this meditation, and that is to place a raisin in your mouth, a grape in your mouth, and then meditate, close your eyes, relax, and leave that grape in your mouth until it turns, it becomes hard and crusty and becomes brittle. Leave it in your mouth and don't move it out, and just continue to rest in that presence. And then I realized apparently the way to get into meditation was a raising of awareness, the raisin awareness. Sorry. We try.
Thank you, Reverend Micah. Good morning. As this is the first Sunday of the month, that makes it Birthday Sunday. So, as our tradition, whoever has a November birthday, we invite you to come up to the front here this morning. Oh, we got a couple of people coming up. Oh, many, several. Look at all this. Wow, what a crew. November's quite a month.
Wow.
Come on up here.
Was a busy spring.
Okay.
I'm going to stay down here.
Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear family. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful. God is blessing you now.
Thank you, everyone. Now it is the time to light our Christ candle. We do this each Sunday as a representation of the Christ light that shines in each of us. And today we have Evie is going to help me light the candle, because what a better example of that Christ light than to have one of our children light the candle. So come on back. You've done this before, right? Let me get all the way back here. You take that one, and we'll light it from here. You got it? Okay, slow down. We got a brand new candle today. Hold it there. Whoop, whoop, down a little. Let me straighten that out. I'll try it. I think it's got it now. There we go. And follow me back to the front. And let's honor Evie with a blessing. You are a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. You are loved unconditionally, just the way you are. And if it's true for Evie, it's true for all of us. I am a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. I am loved unconditionally, just the way I am. Thank you, Evie. Do all the children want to come up and join? And we'll do the song together, and then when the song is over, you can walk off to your class. Boy, what a crew of children we have today. Stand here. There you are. Look at all those smiling faces. Okay.
Ready to go?
Yep.
I'm not sure if this is the one you do, but it's the one we're going to do.
Okay.
We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. In the light, in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God. I think they want another one. We are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light, in that light of God. In the light, in the light, in the light, in the light. We are walking in the light of God.
Well, an official welcome to you all. And to introduce our people today, he's introduced himself, but we have Mark Stanton Welch as our musician. You've heard from Reverend Micah, our senior minister. And Mike Gomez will be will deliver our message today.
Yeah.
In the back, we have Gary Eisenberg on sound and Jim Stuvey, and that allows us to broadcast this message live streamed on the World Wide Web, as well as on demand whenever anybody wants to pick up this message and review it. So we thank them for their technical abilities. Tish Wiedemann, one of our board members, wants to give a, I believe, brief announcement on how we're doing.
Going to put the slide up?
You'll get it. There you
Yeah.
are.
Good morning, my friends.
Good morning.
I'm Tish, and I'm here to give you a very encouraging update on our pledge. Our campaign of pledges is doing really well. Last week, we introduced you to our future minister, Jackie, or Jacqueline, whichever you want to call. We learned that Jackie is a licensed Unity minister who's been at her current church for 7 years. She has felt some restlessness, and her prayers lead her to think it's time for a change. Some of you heard these last week, but I want to make sure that we are all on the same page. This week, we learned that Jackie grew up in the Bay Area and is looking forward to the Thanksgiving family reunion at her brother's house in Milpitas. But she really wishes the flight home weren't so darned expensive and such a hassle. Meantime, Unity of the Valley Spiritual Center is conducting our annual pledge drive, asking everyone to turn in these beautiful white cards, pledge cards, showing what financial contribution they intend to make for 2025. It's not a guarantee and nobody will hound you about it. We simply want to show a stable financial picture when we begin actively advertising our minister opening. The goal for this year's pledge drive is to raise half of the $250,000 in total contributions we will need to balance next year's budget. That means $125,000. How are we doing? Should we see slide number 2? So you can see we're doing really, really well. And I'm so encouraged. Yay. I mean, we are so encouraged. I'm excited to tell you that since last week, Marcy reported we're already at $99,300 pledged by 21 people. We're off to a really good start, but we've heard from only a small percentage of our members and regular attendees. Thank you to those 21 people who have sent in your pledges. We need to hear from the rest of you regardless of the dollar amount. You can get a pledge card from Marcy, and they're also on the table in the Great Hall. Let's get everything ready for Jackie's arrival. Thank you very much.
Pledge early, pledge often. That's my message. Okay. I'm from Chicago. That was our first week of November message. Well, let's go into our announcements. Coming up on November 23rd is one of our fundraising events, plus it's a lot of fun, plus you can do some Christmas shopping, and that will be our annual craft fair, the 23rd from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registration forms are available in the Great Hall, and feel free to pick one up following the service. Then, today, after this service, in our Unity Fellowship Hall, Mark will do a concert for us.
We're in there or we're in here?
Oh,
In here,
okay,
that's.
we're in here. Okay.
If you're in there, you'll be able to hear it in the distance.
They move things around. Yeah. All right, so scratch that. We're in here after our refreshments and snacks. So suggested offering is $20, but nobody will be turned away. So please join us for that.
Now, I hope you like my high school picture there.
Micah, did you want to lead the reading song? Yeah. Yeah. I've got my script. We're changing up our service arrangement a little bit, and so they selected me because I can follow a script. Yeah, we're learning as we go. Thank you.
And I can sometimes follow a script. This morning, we're just moving the greeting time up a little bit in the service because it seemed like at the end, everybody was just anxious to get out of here and go get a cookie, including me, so I don't want to interrupt my cookie time. By the time I get there, they're all gone, so I told the ladies in the kitchen, now they save me cookies. I love this place. It's so neat. Touch is a primal communication method. It came with us. Remember Mom and the baby? Touch. And yet sometimes people go a whole week or two without another human being reaching out and touching their hand or saying hello with a simple pat on the back. So we're not going to let that happen here. I know we had COVID. I got it. I got over it. I'm going to be 80 in a few weeks, so I think if I can do it, so can anybody. It's a treatable condition today for most people. And so like everything else, a flu, we're conscious, take our shots, do whatever we need to do to be reasonable and intelligent, but not to be afraid. So I invite you, if you will, to take a moment now and reach out and touch somebody's hand. Reach out and tell them that you're grateful to have them here, that you appreciate them, and that they're beautiful people. Anything you wish to tell them, a holy hug, a simple namaste, a touch of the hand, or a big old Irish hug, whatever you choose to do and they're comfortable with. God bless you. Let's reach out and touch somebody's hand.
You're so much more than you think you are. You're so much more by far. Today's that day, and now's the time to remember you and let you shine. Yodelay, yodelay. Yodelay, a diddly 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 dong. I let go of the fear of being me. I lay down that resistance and I'm free. I start to see I'm wholly divine. I tell the world it's time to shine, shine. Yodelay, 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 diddly 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 do. And so it was that we made our way back to our chairs. Am I on? Is this on? Thank you for returning to your chair. Yeah. One. And so it was that they returned to their personal space. Trying everything. Sit down.
Our seats, when we're all seated. Yes, thank you, Mark. That was great. Let's give everybody a hand. You haven't done that in a while. In fact, I've never witnessed that before. So let's recite our statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good.
You and I are one with the whole of life. All are in a union with the holy light. Every single thought, every word and form, in the heart of God, eternally born. You and I are one with the whole of life. All are in a union with the holy light. Every single thought, every word, every form, it's in the heart of God, eternally born. Every single thought, every word and form, in the heart of God, eternally born.
As we move into this time of meditation, I would like to invite up Faith Thalaker to lead us.
Hello. All right. I invite you to get comfortable. Softly close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just take in one more, filling your chest. And out. Now picture a glowing ball of white light in your hands. Feel its warmth seep through you. Feel your hands get warm. Feel it spread up your arms, all the way to your heart, surrounded by this warm light. Draw your attention back to the ball in your hands. Notice its glow. Notice the light radiating out. See the light radiating to the person on your right. The light radiating to the person on your left. Notice how they have the same white light radiating from them. See your light meeting in the center, fusing together. Observe how you can't tell where your light ends and theirs begins. Your light being fully connected. Now imagine yourself outside of this room, moving through your day-to-day life with this ball of light. See the way it reaches and connects to each person you pass. Notice each of their warm light radiating from them and the connection you two share through it. Picture yourself with each person you pass in your day-to-day life, strangers, friends, family, connected. We all have this light inside of us. We are connected. We are one. I invite you to take this knowledge of oneness into this next week, visualizing the light radiating off each person you cross paths with, connecting with your own warm light, recognizing our oneness. You may softly open your eyes.
You and I are one with the whole of life. All are in the union with the holy light. Every single thought, every word and form is in the heart of God, eternally born. So I used to be in San Luis Obispo at the Unity down there. Had the privilege to join in volunteer music, and then eventually, through a mishap, became the music director. I had nothing to do with the mishap, yeah. But that launched an opportunity to write music for services. So for 10 years, I wrote every Sunday an opportunity to write for the talk, and the minister at the time loved to give me the talk title, Saturday Night. I understand how things just kind of happen in the last minute. That's how I kind of do stuff. So I'd be coming home from playing in clubs, and there would be the message. And 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. to 3 is pretty fertile time. And the ideas just roll in. And I learned you take the first thing you get and you go with it. It just so happened the messages happened to often be about what I was personally going through at the time. That was really strange. You know what I mean? So I'd take the moment and I'd write into the moment. Earlier the day, I had pulled up to a corner and there was a gentleman there with a sign that wanted some support. And I had my little, you're just going to take it and drink or buy cigarettes. And then I turned the corner with my attitude. And he looked at me and watched me the whole way. And I kind of went, there's something bigger here. So I went within and then I turned around and came back around and then met him and put a legitimate donation into his plate, regardless of what was going to happen. And then I come home that night, and there is a title that says, Love the One You're With. And I went, oh, that's already been done because Stephen Stills did it. When you're down, yes. Yeah, but that's not appropriate for the church service. So, different flavor. So I thought of this gentleman, and I realized something that I believe is going to support what you're sharing today. Well, I'm standing in the line. I turn, I catch the person's eyes. Well, I can turn away, or I can give a smile. It's my chance to make a difference, to brighten up a day. I see the God within. I send a precious love bouquet. There's a man seeking money. He is living on the street, and I see the sign, I judge. I'm thinking he'll drink instead of eat. So I start to turn the corner. When I turn to see his face, and I see the God within him, I place 20 on his plate. Well, throughout the day, they come, moments meant for me. Throughout the day, life, she just lays them at my feet. She says, have compassion, she says. Just take a risk, she says. Go on, just love the one you're with. Yeah, she says, go on and love the one you're with. A spider in the bathtub, or the fly upon the wall. Traffic jam, the couple fighting somewhere down the hall. Or the man who cut before me, or that waitress late and rude. Within these golden moments there lies the fundamental truth. To get the love I want, well, I must give the love I seek. For as I do for you, my friend, someone will do for me. You know these laws of love, they're written, and they're embedded in the heart. But what stands right here before me is a perfect place to start. Now, Lord, give me situations to practice loving sweet and to ease the pain of living, yes, in everyone I meet. And let me grow in bunches from the inside to the out. Let me know that love is all I'll ever be about. Throughout the day they come, moments meant for me. Throughout the day life, she just lays them at my feet. And she says, have compassion. She says, take a risk. And she says, go on, just love the one you're with. She says, go on, just love the one you're with. She says, go on and love the one you're with. And the people sang with me, they sang, go on and love the one you're with. They sang it again, they said, Go on and love the one you're with. They sang it one more time. They did. They said, go on, just love the one you're with. I'm hearing you now. Let's do it again. Go on, just love the one you're with. The last time we said, go on, just love the one you're with. Well, I'm standing in a line. I turn, I catch the person's eyes. Well, I can turn away, or I can give a smile.
My little cheat sheet there. Hello, good morning. It's great to be back here. My name is Mike Gomez, for those of you who don't know me. I actually grew up here in this church. I was a kid here, and then I went off into the real world and had a lot of wonderful experiences, and was invited back as a sponsor by Meredith Lawler, who just happened to show up today. It's incredible. I haven't seen her in years. And had a lot of wonderful experiences as an adult, learning who to be and who I am. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of that today. But I'm going to kind of bounce around a bit. And I just want to apologize now. For anybody who's never seen me speak before, my brain is scattered, and my wife can tell you she is really literally the person on this planet who's holding on to me because she's the grounded one. I just float everywhere. So I apologize in advance if I jump around. I hope you don't catch whiplash. I will do my best, I promise, to kind of accentuate the different periods in time as I move, so that way you can stay caught up with me and you don't need a DeLorean or something, you know. There's a Back to the Future reference for those of you who missed it. It's about we. What does that mean? Well, my mom and I were having a discussion. I think that's the polite way to put it. We were disagreeing one day about our different viewpoints over a topic centered around politics. And, you know, we have this, impending decision coming in a couple of days. This is several months back. And I had already agreed to do the talk. And I have, a dozen or so talks, semi-written, bullet points and stories that I could just plug in and play. And we were having this discussion, and I was telling her what I believed and why I believed it, and then what I wanted to see happen. I paused for a second, and I had a realization. I turned to her and I said, it's actually not about me, though. It's about we. Not about what I want. More about what we, as a society, as a culture, need. And she and I both stopped. And we were like, whoa. And I turned to her and I said, I think I know what my talk title is going to be. Now, I had no idea what I was going to say. And this is a couple months back, so you'd figure I had plenty of time to write something. And I couldn't write anything. I was struggling. I didn't know how to put into context how I felt about our connection. And I was questioning, am I choosing the wrong title? Do I need to change it? And I'm in the middle of a bunch of other things, so my life has been like a huge distraction lately. Like, we're doing a bunch of stuff in our house, some remodeling, some building, some cleaning, and I was taking a break from all of that, and I sat down for a minute, and I'm watching TV, and I turn on the television, and what pops up? One of my favorite movies, Marvel's Black Panther. And I've mentioned before that I could find inspiration in like literally anything if I'm just in the right moment. And I just happened to be in the right moment at the right time, and they're at the end scene right before the credits roll, and Chadwick Boseman is giving a speech about how it is incumbent upon each and every one of us as brothers and sisters to go out and show the rest of the world how to treat each other. And how there is this illusion of division. And how we need to walk around this planet embracing each other, essentially, as though we were one single tribe. And I kind of laughed. I was like, that's crazy. I've seen this movie a dozen or so times, and I've always felt like it was a great message, but in that moment, it made more sense to me than ever before. And I thought, yeah, well, maybe it's just a coincidence, as if it could really be a coincidence. But I was still kind of like, I still don't know. A couple of days later, again, taking another break, and I'm sitting down watching a program that I've seen, I don't know, maybe 10 times through the entire series, a TV show called Heroes. And a guy has just gone through a death experience and came back to life. And he says that he brings a message from God that we are all connected. And let me get the other one. Hang on here. That only together can we make life meaningful. And I was like, okay, I get it. All right, this is the talk I'm supposed to do. Now, the part where he talks about how we're all connected, that reminded me of two things. First thing it reminded me of was a song written by the lovely Mark Stanton Welch, which we sang this morning, You and I Are So Connected. Heart to heart, a golden thread. Which then led me to a conversation that, now let me stand over here so we can move back in the timeline. A conversation I was having when I was, like 19, 20, with the father of one of my closest friends. I was wearing this t-shirt, probably at the time my favorite t-shirt, because it celebrated Mexican heritage, and it's got a bunch of wonderful artwork on it, and there's a caption on it that says, in Spanish, La raza es fuerte como las cadenas, which is the race is strong like the chains. And there's a man on there holding chains. Now, for that to actually make sense to my talk, I'm going to need to back up a little bit further here. Go back to when I was about 8 or 9, and I had another favorite shirt. I was a wee little thing. And it was, I love Baja. And on the back, it listed all the great cities in Baja, California. And I wore this shirt weekly, probably sometimes twice a week. Sometimes probably didn't even care if it was dirty, just wanted to wear it anyway because I was a kid. And it was my favorite shirt, and I had to have it. Well, I discovered at that young age that there are sometimes people that may not understand things, and in their own way to figure their own selves out, they poke fun at things that they're not accustomed to. And so these kids started teasing me and calling me Baja, among other things. And I just decided I didn't want to be a part of it, so I stopped riding the bus and started walking home. It was clear across town. One day, I'm on my little jaunt home, and I come to a stop sign, and I'm going to cross the street, and I look over, and my mom pulls up. She looks at me with complete confusion because she knows I'm supposed to be on a bus heading home. She swings the door open, says, "Get in," and I hop in. She asked me to explain to her why I'm walking home at 8 years old. And so I go on to tell her what's going on, and she says, "Tomorrow I want you to take the bus again." And she left it at that. And I got on the bus, and nobody said anything. I'm sure she said something to somebody. But on the car ride home, she talked to me about how it was important for me to embrace who I am not to be ashamed of it, not to shy away from it, not to run from it, but to embrace it, to celebrate it, because who I am and where I came from is a part of where I'm going to be. So now we go back to when I'm 19, 20, and I'm having the conversation, and he's commenting on the shirt, and he loves the artwork, and he asked me to translate for him. And so I do happily, and I should have seen the setup coming, but I did not, because I was so involved in my pride of who I am. And he asks me, when I tell him the race is strong like the chains, he goes, that's pretty cool. Let me ask you, what race? And I say, proudly, the Mexican race. As if he didn't already know I was Mexican. And he goes, oh, all right, nice. Kind of hoping you would have said the human race. And at that moment, 19 or 20 years of age, God had sent me an angel. Now this man, to the best of my knowledge, is not a spiritual man, not a religious man. I don't know if he ever really goes to church. I know one of my closest friends, he doesn't really go to church often. His church is in the studio working on music. That's where he finds God. So in that moment, my entire world changed. The irony of it is that's the message I have been taught my whole life here, and it took somebody outside of here to reach me with that message. And from that moment forward, my understanding of who I was within this world around me changed. The world became bigger. He wasn't telling me not to embrace who I am. He was telling me to celebrate who I am while embracing the connection I have to the rest of this world. A few weeks back, for those of you who don't know, I'm at Walnut Creek Unity. I work with the unit teens over there. I'm helping them build that program up. And I'm sitting there, and we're doing a lesson on a poem by the great Reverend James Dillard Freeman called I Am There. Now, those of you who don't know the poem, I encourage you, go look it up, read it. It's one of two of his that have been taken to the moon. So, in this poem, he's writing from the perspective of God. He's telling you that God is always there. I am there. And there's a series of questions. We take turns reading lines. We pass it around. There's a series of questions at the end. One of the questions is there any part of this that you disagree with? And instantly after I read the question, my eyes find the one line that if you took it out of context from the rest of the poem, I would most definitely not ever agree with this one line. And the line is, you can of yourself do nothing, but I can do all. And that line struck me because interpreted in and of itself, I took that as there was a separation between me and God. And I disagreed with that because I'm like, I know enough now to know there is no separation between me and God. We are one and the same. Sometimes more than others. I went back and reread the entire thing, though, because I'm like, I must have misinterpreted this. And there's another line before that where he says, only in your mind can you be separate from me. Okay. Did misinterpret that one line. Only in your mind can you be separate from me. Well, if that's true, I get my mind out of the way, always connected to God. And if it's true for me, it's true for you. So if I'm connected to God, and all of you are connected to God, doesn't that mean that we're all connected to each other? We are all one and the same? Yeah. That would mean that what Chad Bozeman said is true. This idea of division is an illusion. It does not exist. There is no us and them. There is no me versus you. There's just we. 100% of the time, there's we. Now, in the coming days, coming weeks, perhaps the coming months, there may be people out there who try to convince you otherwise. I am here to tell you now today, simply untrue. We are all a part of God. Therefore, we are all a part of each other. I am you, you are me. One last quick story before I let you go. Every night, before my daughters go to bed, they go to my mom's room and they give her hugs and kisses. And my mom asks them, who are we going to send our hearts and our love to tonight? And so they think about people who are maybe having a hard time, and they decide certain people to send their hearts and their love to each evening. Sometimes it's people they know. Sometimes it's people they don't know, but they heard about. Sometimes it could be somebody clear across the other side of the world who just in that moment needs hearts and love. It is incumbent upon each and every one of us as brothers and sisters to be the way showers, to walk the talk, love unconditionally, be there for each other, care for each other, support each other. The love unconditionally part sometimes might be tough. I didn't say you have to have them around you all the time. There are some people I love insanely from a distance. Sometimes that's what's needed. You can love them a lot, maybe sometimes not really like them in the moment. That's okay too. Tonight, when you go to bed, I encourage each and every one of you, take a moment, send your hearts and your love out to some people on this planet who need it most. It's not about me, it's about we. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for that inspirational message to all of us. So now it's our time to have our ushers come forward, and we will collect an offering here in the sanctuary here. But in addition to that, we have many ways to give to this spiritual center. You can text to give at the number on the screen. You can set up a recurring donation or a one-time donation on the website with the blue tab to donate. And yeah. So let's bless our tithes and offerings. God's love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. I am grateful.
Give for the sake of giving. Give just because you can. and give for the sake of just letting it go. 'Cause when you give, your universe expands. Just give for the sake of giving. Give just because you can. And give for the sake of just letting it go. 'Cause when you give, your universe expands. Well, you've heard it. Let's sing it. Give for the sake of giving because you can. Give just because you can. For the sake of letting it go. Give for the sake of just letting it go. 'Cause when I give, my universe expands. 'Cause when I give, my universe expands. Whoa, yeah. 'Cause when I give, my universe expands.
Let's state together our affirmation of divine substance. The inexhaustible resource of spirit is equal to every demand. There is no reality in lack. Abundance is here and now manifest. So let's join all together in a circle. I think we can surround the whole sanctuary today, and we'll sing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as let's walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment, live each moment, peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. Love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. We are one holy family. We celebrate our oneness and honor our diversity.
Send hearts and love. It's not about me, it's about we.
Thank you. Amen.
Every step I take, that's the best one. Every move I make, it's the best one. Life will keep a rolling if I just keep knowing that I'm always on the bright